Ambrosia from 1951. So mid-century America has produced many suspect salads, many of which continue to leak out of the angsty states of Wisconsin and Minnesota. However, ambrosia is arguably the one that started them all, the pioneer, if you will, and today we're going to see if that's a good thing. Start by draining 1.5 pounds of mandarin oranges, a pound of maraschino cherries, and 20 ounces of pineapple. Time for 1.33 cups of cream whipped. Keep in mind this is a salad. Yes! I like to whip cream by hand. It's a lot more intimate. Now in goes 1/2 cup of sour cream and 1/2 cup of coconut. Chop the cherries and 1 cup of walnuts. Sure. Walnuts aren't my favorite, but I've been known to never turn down a nut. In goes the cherries, pineapple, mix. Just like me, the mandarin oranges are a delicate fruit, so they go in last. You know, this actually looks pretty good. To the fridge. Once you're ready to serve, you fold in 2 cups of marshmallows. To the salad. This has to be the most 50s thing ever. You know what? I like this one. It's quite pleasant. Baked apples from the Great Depression. Yes, folks, fall has fallen, and it can't get up. So nothing quite says autumn like an apple, except pumpkin or seasonal depression. First, we core the apples. I'm using Honeycrisp apples, but you guys can use whatever you want except for the red mushy ones. Those are for psychopaths. Make sure not to go all the way through. For the filling, we need some sugar. And if they can be afforded, oats. Living large tonight, boys. We got oats. I'm not making fun of the Great Depression. I am making fun of the Great Depression. Into a baking dish. Pat of butter on top. Finally, a bit of water. 350 for 1/2 hour. So they look dead, but my house smells amazing. I would bake this just for this smell. Febreze who? Now how do I eat it? Fall, winter. Fireplaces. Beautiful. The very definition of simple yet brilliant. A poor man's cake from the Great Depression. The Depression was bad, right? People were crawling around on all fours in their yards eating dandelions. No, that's not an exaggeration. Those who were better off, like Ruth here, came up with recipes like this. Though bless her heart, she couldn't spell raisins. That's okay, Ruth. We start by cooking 1 cup of said raisins with 2 cups of water. Fire! We're boiling this until it reduces by half. Then we beat in a whole cup of shortening. I mean, I think that's a little excessive. In goes 1 egg. Plus a teaspoon each of ground cloves, allspice, and cinnamon. Ruth, I don't think that's gonna help. Finally, we add 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 2 cups of flour. Oh, this does not look right. There are no baking instructions at all, so we're just gonna do 350 for Lord knows how long. About 45 minutes. Did you notice there was no sugar? My legs are shaking, and not in the good way. Well, that tastes like a diagnosis that is severe.
Google has betrayed me. I said Google has betrayed me. I'm at the park, and there's a lake, and there's a duck, and there was a whole bunch of ducklings. I said, my God, is that not the cutest thing this side of the Mississippi? But boy, is that a lot of ducklings. So I wanted to look up just how many baby ducks a mama duck can excrete into this world. So, like the intellectual I am, I looked it up and Google was like, you're in luck, buddy, because a mama duck can have up to 12 babies. But guess what? Only 2 survive until adulthood. Please, no. I said, why in the Daddy K. Ronald Reagan Quaker Oats world did you think I wanted to know this information? Some information is not knowledge. Some information is just sadness.
People ask me, Dylan, why do you call your plant a 10-footer when it's barely a foot tall? And I say, because from 10 feet away she looks all right, but up close you can tell this bitch has been dead since March. A crusty spam bake from 1965. You guys are gonna be the end of me. To start, we're gonna need some cornflakes. Promise, I'm not making this up. In your bag. Now we get our can of Spam and we cry. Slice into 8 pieces using a knife. Thanks for that tip. I was in danger of using a spoon. To the cornflake crumbs, we add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and a dash of cloves. Because why not go full manic? Drain a can of pineapple slices and brush with butter. Just another day in America. Coat the Spam slices in mustard. No, don't make... 20 minutes at 350. All right. That ain't it.
I am so sick and tired of everything being a subscription. You got your Netflix, your Hulu, your HBO, your Disney Plus subtraction, fucking long division. I'm sick of it. I got subscriptions for razors. People got subscriptions for deodorant. You want just pieces of meat delivered every month? Pay me. All I wanted to do was to watch Chernobyl on HBO Go. But they're like, hey, you gotta get this entire subscription. HBO Go, can HBO blow me?
No, man, this Valentine's Day? No problem! Let's make a 1950s candle salad. Start with 1 piece of lettuce. Oh, Betty Crocker, what are you up to? French Revolution, your pineapple. You could just use canned pineapple if you're a communist. Peel a banana. Betty, darling, put the banana in. You're out of pocket. This one's European. Insert. Insert what? 1 toothpick in the top. Add 1 maraschino cherry for the flame. Oh God, it's bleeding. For the candle wax. The what? And with that, your candle salad is finished. No shit. Doesn't tell you how to eat it. So I don't know if I need a knife and fork or I need to tie my hair back. Good morning. I mean, it tastes like a banana. Have a good Valentine's. Stay safe. Hey, are you hungry?
No, I'm gay.
So you're thirsty.
Why will I never own a modern car?
Take my 1963 V8, for example. Water pump, oil filter, alternator, power steering pump, ignition, distributor.
And this is a V8 from 2013. What do you want me to do with this if my alternator goes out? Step 1, apply for a doctorate.
Well, folks, it is October in Wyoming. Today we're sitting at about -4 degrees Fahrenheit, about -20 centigrade.
We're gonna try and cold start the Cadillac. Not only do these cars have trouble starting at sub-zero temperatures, but we're also at an altitude of 7,200 feet. That seems a little rich, doesn't it? Let's see how the Suburban fares. That's a dead battery. That's a 1 for 2. I'll take it.
A spaghetti-o Jell-O ring from the 60s. Now, I've been unable to confirm whether or not this recipe actually existed in the 60s. Not that I particularly want to, but seemingly everybody and their dog has sent me this. Into a saucepan goes a 1/4 cup of tomato soup, 1/4 cup of water. Now 2 packs of gelatin. Wonder what demon we'll summon today. Fire! Now that this is completely smooth, we remove from heat and add 2 cans of SpaghettiOs. Is life insurance expensive? Into a bunt. Good night. Ooh! Did I mention there were sausages? Because there are sausages. I don't want to do it. That is unnatural. It's like a morgue. I need a hug. An avocado pie from 66. Graham cracker crust. 5 tablespoons of melted Paula Deen. Unsalted. She must be in a good mood today. Dash of sugar. I don't know how big your dash is. Remember the edges, Dylan. The edges! Blind bake the shell for 15. Avocados. 3. Ooh, it's a boy. Delicious. Howdy. Cream cheese. Sweetened condensed milk. This is from 1938. It's only electrocuted me twice. Woo! Yes, sir. You need the juice of 2 limes. Woo! Smells like the war. La, la, la. Chill time. Good morning. You know what? This is doing something for me. It's rather eccentric, but very smooth and quite light. That right there is a summer pie.
Another old car versus new car. No leg room. Conceive several children. Equipped with an airbag. This came equipped with a concussion. Fits a suitcase. 5 to 6 dead bodies. Automatic Jesus beams. High beam foot button. Stiffer than a nun. Suspension softer than a cloud. Seatbelts. Death.
Ice cream bread from 78. Now I think the best way to eat ice cream is to eat it straight from the tub. However, like the first time I got up close with a man, this recipe has me second guessing. This recipe comes from a cookbook called Cookbook. They were very bright. We're gonna need 2 cups of full-fat ice cream. None of that healthy stuff. What are you trying to do, live longer? Now before we dive in, we need to wait for this to get soft, which is the opposite of what we're used to, depending on what you're diving into. 1, 2. Next we beat in a 1.5 cups of flour, plus 1.5 teaspoons of floof powder. Boop. Well, this is unorthodox. And then into a greased loaf pan. Is that it? I'm not gonna tell you, oh, there's no way this is gonna work, because it makes sense, doesn't it? Ice cream has your sugar, your flavor, your fat, your dairy, everything. I've just never thought to come up with it. Now it says we can add sprinkles for the children. Screw that. This is for me. What do you take me for? Grown? Ah! Look it! Bake at 350 for about 45 minutes. Just check yours with a toothpick. Ooh! Ooh! Oh man, Frank. Perfectly sweet and soft and marvelous. Ooh. A pinto bean cake from 55. I don't even know what to say about this one. We start by draining 2 27-ounce cans of pinto beans. So I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Now we put 1.5 cups of peanuts through a grind-o-mat. Where did the peanuts come from? What's a grind-o-mat? Are you alright? Put the beans in the grind-o-mat. This is not, how can I say, right? Oh no!
Ay, señor.
Quesadilla total en la cocina. 3/4 cup of honey.
To this baby food looking refried funeral? How did you come up with these ingredients?
Did you just throw a grenade down aisle 6? 5 egg keys. Now the chickens are implicated.
What is this?
Make sure to clean your grind-o-mat.
I'm not concerned about your precious grind-o-mat.
Lastly, we have 1/2 cup of melted butter and 2 teaspoons of floof powder. Yeah, good luck with that. Only thing this is gonna rise up from is the dead.
Catastrophe de bonen.
45 minutes at 375.
What?
It's a cake.
How? You have no right.
Soft, dense, rich.
No.
This is phenomenal. Peanut butter onions from the Great Depression. Like kissing women, stuffing onions full of peanut butter feels rather unnatural to me, but I suppose desperate times call for desperate measures. Start by French revolutioning our onions. Now you can use any type of onion, but I use the round ones, the only type I can find. We need to create a flat bottom. Let me get some reference. Perfect. Time to scoop out the middle. Oh, boy, this onion's strong. A military grade. God damn. Woo! Okay, now that we have a hole in our onion and we look like we've just come from a wake, we need to stuff it. For that, we need 1/4 cup of peanut butter, mixed with half as much breadcrumbs. Why? I suppose it is called the Great Depression for a reason. You know, I don't typically stuff vegetables.
Mix.
Much prefer stuffing fruit. Do we really just bake this?
We do.
375 for an hour. A presentable dish. Honey, this has a face made for radio. Closed casket funeral. It's not so much bad as it is unsettling. Simply just no need to do any of this. Scotcheroos from 1965. So Rice Krispie treats were invented all the way back in 1939 at the Kellogg's Company in Battle Creek, Michigan, and have since become the most dominant Rice Krispie confection. But 26 years later, they came up with these, a lesser-known variant, which we are going to try today. In a big old pan, we're gonna need a cup of corn syrup, followed by a cup of sugar. Excessive. Fire! Bring this to a boil to create a cavity-inducing syrup. Charming. Next, we remove from heat and add in a cup of peanut butter. Mix. Then in goes 5 cups of Rice Krispies. You know, I've never understood America's obsession with breakfast cereals. Whatever was wrong starting your middle school mornings crying over a sad bowl of oatmeal? That was character building. Good old liquid cardboard. Anyway, this is rather dense. In this goes to a 13x9. Just cooperate. While that's cooling, we melt a cup of butterscotch chips and a cup of chalky chips over a double boiler. Melt, you get! Just spread it on and cool completely. Yes!
These are good.
These are better than Rice Krispie treats. Sunflower cookies from 74. So these were part of the hippie health food craze, which I didn't know was a thing. Seems they enjoyed baking in more than one sense of the word. To a 1/2 cup of butter goes a cup of brown sugar. Mix. In goes 2 egg keys, 1/2 cup of flour, a teaspoon of floof powder, and 1/2 cup of wheat germ. Oh no.
Move, Hollis.
What's wheat germ? Nothing good. It has the pleasant taste of wood chips. Earthen. Yeah. I let this sit and get all nice and miserable. The wheat germ just needs to swell up like an infection. Soaks up the butter and everyone's happiness. Next is 1.5 cups of shelled sunflower seeds. This is just bird seed. Food of the birds. Avian.
Oh no.
Do you have friends? Are they birds? Make this for them.
Their little bird beaks and bird mouths will love it. 1/2 cup of pumpkin seeds.
Don't even chop them. Nope. You have to let their bird stomachs digest it. Feathery freaks. 350 for about 12 minutes. Now they can smell it. You know what birds can't do? Read my cookbook, as far as we know.
These taste like a damp park bench.
Sorry, hippies, I'm with Nixon on this one. A powder cake from World War II. This has to be one of the most interesting recipes I've come across. We start with 1.25 cups of powdered eggs. That's right, eggies can be dry. Crusty, ashy. Cup of 4X sugar, just dead people talk for powdered sugar. Whisking together with 1.25 cups of warm water.
It smells like eggs, but at Goodwill.
Some hand-me-down eggs. Pinch of salt. Sifting in a scant cup of powdered milk.
Watch out, y'all, she gone powder wild.
2 teaspoons of floof powder. Boop. And 3 teaspoons of cinnamon.
Get yourself some lotion.
Whisking thoroughly. And into a greased 8-inch square.
Ribbons.
$3.50 for 35 minutes. Did you notice anything about that? There's no flour or any alternative. $10, it comes out an omelet.
Wow.
It's a pillow. It's a pet.
It's a pillow of pet.
Squidgy. I'm impressed, but I reckon it'd confuse many.
What are you?
Flavor, eggy. Texture, chewy. It's novel. A soda cracker pie from 1940. Luckily, when this recipe was written, the Great Depression was mostly over.
Oh boy.
Just in time for World War II. Start with the whites of 3 egg yolks.
Let go.
Beating stiff while slowly adding a cup of sugar.
Ready, set. This is ridiculous. Good Lord.
All right.
And don't suggest fresh eggs.
Coarsely crushed 15 soda crackers. Dylan, what is a soda cracker? It's just the global name for saltines. Lovely squares of cardboard and sawdust. Cup of chopped nuts. That's some black walnuts.
The everyman's nut.
And we just fold it all together.
Nice crunchy.
Teaspoon of floof powder. Boop. Bit of vanilla. Turning into a shallow greased pie plate.
Oh.
Not much to this, is there? $3.25 until golden.
It's a pie. A pie.
It is humble, like considering what's in it. Amazing. Chewy, light, refreshing. Reminds me of food for the gods in baking yesteryear.
Shut up, I've not mentioned it in months.
Charleston Chewies from '69. Straight from the South Carolina low country, this recipe looks like a heart attack. First, we melt some butter. How much? A cup.
Whole cup. Woohoo, you coming?
Woo! What do y'all like in the South?
Butter.
Anything else?
Butter.
Okay.
Butter.
Is it just
Butter.
2 cups of brown sugar?
2 eggs. Oh.
2 cups of flour, pinch of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of floof powder.
It's tiny. Get it.
Don't confuse this with the Charleston Chew, which is a candy bar for people with good taste. Nor is this the Charleston, which was a TikTok dance before TikTok. Ask your grandfather's grandfather about it. Actually, don't. You have to dig him up. He'd be kind of soupy. 2 cups of pecans. I used to say pecans before I was bludgeoned with a shoe in New Orleans, Louisiana. I now say pecan.
Oh.
Into a 9x9. What?
Too much.
Rub flat.
Rub? I don't want to rub anything.
Whose grandma's out?
Rubbing stuff.
$3.50 for 45 minutes. Wow. Crispy on the outside. Looks to be fudgy on the inside.
Man and ever.
It's a cracking recipe is what this is. It's so good it's in danger of becoming my dinner. The pros and cons of one of the largest, most absurd American cars in history, the '78 Continental Mark V. The styling. This car is low. It is long. She has a massive hood, functional fender louvers, and a faux tire hump. It is insane. Despite its size, the Mark V has the nerve to only have 2 doors, and backseat space is laughable. Up front, though, these seats are the most comfortable I've ever sat in, and I don't just mean in a car. They are 8-way power couches and can seat 3 across. The car itself is almost too big to park, though, and to show you some context, here the front of my car is in line with a full-sized Grand Cherokee, but where the SUV ends is where I'm sat, with still half of my car behind me. Driving it, you will notice that the ride is peak, and nothing floats better than Mark V's. Just don't try to turn, lest you slide out of the passenger seat and into Kansas. You do get a giant and simple 6.6-liter V8. It just makes 150 horsepower and gets 7 miles to the gallon. But hey, you get a Cartier clock and some nice gauges, just no cup holders at all, if you can live with that. A Kool-Aid pie from '87. This comes from Hastings, Nebraska, where Kool-Aid was invented. Now they worship it. They got like parades and fairs and everything. Nebraska stuff. Start with a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. Liquid toothache. We just mix in one of these small packs of Kool-Aid. We're using grape because it's second to none. Tell me otherwise, I will fight you.
Ooh, oh no.
That's that Exxon Valdez purple. Zest of a lemon. Pretty exotic for Nebraska.
And the juice of a lemon. Can't be wasting none of them fancy things, them newfangled citrus.
Pinch of salt.
And a good old tub of Cool Whip, a Midwest special.
This is kind of pretty now. Slap her into a 9-inch graham cracker crust. Don't let anyone tell you you can't use pre-made. Those people are just unhappy with their love lives.
Ooh.
To the fridge, 4 hours.
Happy birthday, book.
First cut is the hardest. Do-do-do-do.
What? Yum, 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 yum.
That tastes like my childhood. Light, refreshing, very summery.
Pie of the summer right here.
Hot beef from 76. These days we have hummus and burrata and charcuterie. Girl dinner. This is what our grandparents had. Start with a pound of cream cheese. A win for the lactose intolerant. You don't have to small talk if you're too busy punishing the porcelain. Cocktail party advice. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. 4 ounces of juicy chopped olives. Juicy? Lady loves her olives. Delicious. Half a cup of grated American.
এত সুন্দর শাড়ি আপনি পছন্দ করলেন কেমনে?
যেমনে তোমারে পছন্দ করছি।
কি এইটা?
এটা দুম্বার বাচ্চা।
পুরো খালি মস্করা করে।
খাসির মাংস করতেছিলা?
মনে আছে আপনার?
ভাবির কইতে যখন এত অসুবিধা বাদ দেন, আগে তো কতবার কইছেন।
আপনি দেখছো এটা কোনো কথা? আপনি আমার ডর হইলেন কেন?
দুধ পাইলা কই, চা পাতা পাইলা কই? আমার আনতে কইছিল আমি তো আনি নাই। ছাগল কিনা টেহা শেষ।
আমরা বাচ্চা কাচ্চা নেই না কেন? আমার কোনো সমস্যা আছে নাকি? আরে হইছে ছাড়েন। আরে কেউ দেখা ভালাইবো দূর।
এত পূর্ণ আমি কোন সময় করছিলাম? আল্লাহ তোমার মতো একটা মানুষ আমার কি লেগে দিব। দেন চেক করে দেন, চেক করে দেন।
আল্লাহ গো, এইটা আমাগো ছাগল। আল্লাহ, এইবার এই ছাগল দিয়ে আমরা কুরবানি দিব।
ভাত খেয়া যায়
না না, খাওয়ান লাগবো না। আমি যে বাড়িতে না ভাত তরকারি রাইন দিয়েছি।
উট কুরবানিতে ঢাকা ভালো লাগবো। এখন ইন্টারনেটের যুগ, ফেসবুকে ছবি দেখো।
জুতো নাই, থাকলে জুতো দিয়ে পিটাইতাম। চলেন আসেন।
হ্যাঁ, এরম ফুটানি মাইরাই বেড়ায়, দুনিয়া দাঁত দানা করছে। কিরে খাড়াই রয়েছিস কেন? খাওয়ান দিছি তো, খাইতে আয়।
দান খয়রাত নিতে আমি পারবো না, আমার শরম করে।
আরে বাবা, শরমের কি আছে?
আয় পায়েস খাওয়া যাবি।
অহন না, পরে মনে হন যাই।
আইস কিন্তু
অনেক মানুষ আছে না, আশের মতন ক্যাত ক্যাত করে গলা পর্যন্ত খায়, আমি পারি না। গরিবের বউ না তুমি? খাসি মাংস খাইতে পারতাছি না, 1 ঘন্টা ঘুরে আনি।
একটু হাসো, ফ্রি ফ্রি ছাগল পাইতাছো, সুইট করে হাসি দাও। ছেগাইয়া হাসতেছো কেন? একটু সুইট করে হাসো।
ও ভাবি, এত স্বাদের মাংস ফালাই দিলেন কেন? খাসির মাংস আমি আনতে কইছিলাম আপনার লইগা, ভাবছিলাম মজা করে আপনারা রান্না খাওয়াবো।
কোন রঙে বানায়াছ ঘর খানি